My name's Stacy Ward and I work for Nylon Apparel. I'm the Chief Production Officer. I've been with the company since 2016. Our offering here, we have screen printing, we have 6 automatics, we run 2 shifts, 60,000 square foot building right here in Savannah, Georgia. I was hired to come on to help the screen print department do their job better and be more efficient, be more productive. What we do here is we print veteran-themed, patriotic-themed apparel. It's a veteran-owned company that gives back to veterans in need, and we have a retail store here. I believe at this point we have 7 total retail stores. In the past, I started in 1987 screen printing, so we were using film. I had images when I got here, and at some point when the LTS came along, it brought me back to my roots. It was, I was able to see screens imaged in the quality that I was used to when I first started with film, and seeing really perfect, pristine dots. And once we were able to get it approved, it was on my list to purchase. We purchased the machine December of 2020, and it's been incredible. The concept of not having consumables, that was important, and that's pretty much what pushed it over the goal line for me. So when we first got the LTS, we had already had things established. We had the emulsion PHUMT, we had our EOM set where we wanted it, we had our exposure where it needed to be with our other direct-to-screen unit. Of course, we had to tweak to make sure that the exposure was not under or over. It took about an hour. Once we got all that dialed in, there was really no issue. With the LTS, what I've found is that the resolution of the final print has much less dot gain. Setting up, tearing down, we use tri-lock. So, there's really no improvement. It's just as good as it was when we were using our other device. We're not seeing faster setups in that sense, but what we do see is less adjustments that need to be made to achieve the halftone that the artist was intending from the input of the art that we get on the screen, on the output of the device. So that was a huge improvement in production. We don't have anything really, we don't have to do nozzle checks, adding ink, cleaning solution, cleaning print heads. Those are things that, are required with, an inkjet type of direct-to-screen. So that part is out of the equation. So turn the machine on, you put the screen in, put it against the tri-lock blocks, image the screen, and you're done. So there's not a lot of extra maintenance required to keep the machine running and at optimum levels. We have several jobs that we do maybe every month. So we might reburn those screens once a month, or we might burn them a year later. We have consistent reproduction of the same screen that we produced 1, 2, 3 years ago without any calibration or adjustment to any settings, lasers. After 3 years, we've had 0 maintenance costs with this machine. 0 maintenance, no repairs, no upgrades, no adjustments, no replacement of print heads, 0 maintenance costs. And I can't emphasize that enough. Every piece of equipment in our building has had some sort of maintenance cost, some within the first few months. 0 maintenance cost in 3 years, and that's huge. But any tech support that we need, I can call someone personally and talk to them and get the information pretty much any time of the day. And I'm sure they probably don't want you to do that, but tech support has been great with SAATI. It always has been. We use several SAATI products. We use the SAATI High-Tex Mesh. We have a top 12 plus screen stretching device. Ultrafix SB5 plus glue. Our emulsion, we use PHUMT. Been using that for a while. So most of the time I've been here, it's great emulsion for what we need to do. We have a Pro Coat 2536, love that. And that was basically to give us the opportunity to coat 2 at a time rather than 1 at a time. We need people doing other things, so that gives us a little more capacity for them to do work on the floor or burn screens instead of coating all day. Some of the chemistry, we use PW9 on the floor for press wash. IR19 is an ink remover we use in our screen room for removing the ink prior to removing the stencil. ER6 is our emulsion remover. We use that diluted 25:1 basically for removing the stencil, atomizing it, spraying it on the screen. After the screens are reclaimed, we use direct prep. So basically, we do have a little bit more screen demand than we did 3 years ago. But in general, it's not a huge increase in screen demand, but what we're able to do is we're able to get the same amount of screens with less labor. So in essence, if we had a need to run the machine 8 hours a day, we would definitely do more screens per day than we were 3 years ago. They were coming out more closely representative of what the original art was intended. And that allowed us to set up a job without any revisions to the screens or to the art to make the screens print better. So in general, we've had less screens reburn due to art issues or imaging issues that we've experienced in the past. Obviously with the laser to screen, any digital to screen has huge advantages in being able to archive art, pull it up, and it's the same art every time. There's no issue, you can always find it alphabetically in your file folders, so huge advantage over film. For me, it produces artwork in the same way that I experienced 30 plus years ago imaging fine art reproductions. So for me, this was the machine that we needed to move us in the direction of better quality final prints.